The hip hop Republican. What I don't know what kind of Republican some people are. I don't know what kind of American some people are, but I like Lincoln. You read about Lincoln, Frederick Douglass. They didn't need billionaires and ads. Lincoln didn't have to go fight for the slaves. He didn't have to give his life for that cause. He didn't get paid. He got paid because he became a legend because of the story. His story, how he climbed that ladder. Just once you read that story and you know President Lincoln, you'll never accept something lesser than his president. Like, no car, no phone, no TV ads, no anything. It was his spirit. His spirit. We're in the age of the spirit. What's in your spirit? What is your spirit releasing in the world? You know, there's physical and there's spirit. You know what I'm saying? Your spirit will make you're going to call Puerto Rico garbage floating in the ocean. Like, what's in your spirit? How can you be an American and say something so vile to a people who have been so loyal to the red, white, and blue since the Spanish-American War? And you got Cuba. The UN just voted against the Cuban embargo. And once again, America and Israel voted for the embargo, whatever. And it's like, what is in your spirit? What is the future? The presidential candidates, I don't think they realized that during COVID and after COVID, the timelines, I hear people, I don't even know what it means, but it feels like the timelines have switched. Things are just different. Like, you never in the world's history see a president sit up and watch so many innocent people, children, get crucified. That's what it is. It's a crucified and just sit there and act normal. You're not even in a presidential race, or you never seen two presidential candidates sit there and watch so many people in the name of America get slaughtered by our dollar. And there's physical and there's spirit. That's what time we're in. And America needs to get its spirit together because we're already in war. We're already in war. The world is already aligning against America. We haven't had a president visit Africa in 10 years since Barack Obama went to the Nelson Mandela funeral in 13. We haven't had a president visit Africa. China, Russia, they're always in Africa. They always have African leaders in China, in Russia. The BRIC, everybody's lining up against the dollar. It's not fair to the next generation of Americans that they will have a lesser dollar or a lesser America or a lesser stature in the world because of this generation and our bullshit. It's not fair to the next generation. Everything, people still want to be fake. And the days of fakeness they're so, the days of fakeness, you can see through a lot of fakeness in the world these days because it's all about the spirit. What is in your spirit? America might be quiet and we don't have bombs dropping on us, like in Gaza, like in Lebanon, but our stature in the world is dropping. The value of the dollar is dropping. The way people think of Americans is different. And people are just childish. Like, America is great. People looked up to America as bigger than life. And in the last 4 years, the last 8 years, America has been humbled, and we've been brought back to life. The White House was just bigger than life. Now I see, like, sometimes black influencers, for instance, on Instagram, and they take pictures in the White House, and the White House don't look the same. It don't look as powerful, especially when you watch children and people and bombs being dropped on people with no regard, and the president sits there quiet and he starts some other drama. You go and start some other drama, to to block out the persistent drama. Sit there. What kind of president sits there and funds a genocide? The one we got right there, the one from Delaware. That's the type of president. That's him. That's the same thing he did to black men with his drug laws. It's not a surprise to me. That's who he is. You know? That's who he is. You talk about God and the Bible. The Bible, that is, when you're dropping bombs on Lebanon, when you're dropping bombs on Gaza, you're dropping bombs on the Bible and all the history there. When you're starting fights in the Red Sea with people who are just trying to defend their neighbors, stop a genocide, you're dropping bombs on the Bible. I'm sorry, that's what it is. And it's just a mess. And future generations of Americans and future generations of good people in the world are going to have to suffer for it. And it ain't right. It ain't right. And soon Joe Biden, we think, will be leaving the White House. And he's going to leave America with a whole bunch of bullshit. Shit. And it ain't fair. And it ain't right. And whoever wins the presidency, I don't want either one of them. What's in their spirit? What do they stand for? I don't want a president who's going to embargo Cuba and not allow them to buy the basic necessities of a human beings. Put Cuba on a terrorist list. Cubans aren't terrorists. They're not dropping bombs on Gaza. They're not dropping bombs on Lebanon every day, on children, on women and children, innocent. They're not funding that. So why are they on a terrorist list? Tear down that wall. It's time for the embargo to go. In America, we need to stand up and voice our disapproval of the direction of this country, because every day that those bombs drop on Gaza and Lebanon is every day America's stature is lessened in the world. You hear the guy on CNN the other night, one guy says, I support Gaza. And the other guy goes, well, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. And I'm going to finish with this. If you don't know what the beeper going off means, it means that Israel somehow gave Hezbollah people who are in Lebanon a bunch of beepers with explosives in it that were made in, I guess, Taiwan or somewhere in Asia. And they blew up the pagers, and a lot of people lost their lives with those pagers. No trial, no, no defense. They just lost their lives, and that's what the beeper comment means. And we don't know who else has explosives in their mobile devices. We have, you know, the new iPhone is coming out. You know, what is in there? Are there explosives in that? And the world is changing, and America needs to get back on foot because the direction we going in, it's not a good direction. And when Joe Biden will be leaving in January, and he ain't gonna leave us in a good condition, and he knows it. They all know it. And God bless America, one nation under God, and God we trust, because we are gonna need it, America. God bless.